And you know, you don't want to be like that dad from Euphoria who's just like out here doing like crazy shit. Yo, what is up, y'all? My name is Devin, and today I'm going to be talking about testosterone and sexuality, specifically within trans guys. This is gonna be a good one. Before I get into that, make sure if you're new here, new as in not subscribed, you go ahead and press that subscribe button down below. Feel free to join my channel membership, which will give you perks such as early access to my videos and much more. And if you are interested in coaching, go ahead and email me at devindoescoaching@gmail.com. If you wanna get these gains, go ahead and email me, okay? I have so many trans guys, so many trans masculine folks who start testosterone. They email me, they DM me, and they're like, Devin,
I start testosterone and I'm looking at guys a different type of way.
And I never experienced this before. I think testosterone is making me gay. I even had a guy tell me that he thinks that the government is like putting shit in our testosterone to make us gay. And guys, that whole conspiracy is not true. They're not trying to make trans people gay. And I also know that the pharmacy supplies the same testosterone cypionate to cis guys that I know as well who are on HRT. So we're all getting the same shit, okay? I have a specific theory on this, and if you guys have a theory as well, feel free to drop it in the comments. I believe that going throughout life, as obviously I was assigned female at birth. If you don't know that by now, hello, welcome. I'm Devin, I'm a trans guy. Being assigned female at birth and being a very masculine individual, I felt as though I had to stifle whatever feminine qualities I had in order to make my life a little bit easier in terms of being validated. Like for example, I was always fighting my dad. I was always only attracted to girls. And if I had ever allowed myself to think that I'm attracted to guys, I essentially would have invalidated myself, and I probably wouldn't feel comfortable with even the idea of a guy looking at me in that way. I was always sort of just navigating life like through the path of let me make it through this day, let me make it through these months with whatever I can deal with in front of me, and I'll deal with the rest of the shit later, right? So I have a lot of guys, a lot of trans masculine individuals tell me who are not straight, who are pansexual, bisexual, whatever. They're like, I never knew if I wanted to be a guy or if I was just attracted to guys. And for myself, it was always the first one. I just always wanted to be a guy before I knew what being transgender was, before I had the vocabulary, as we always say, for what being transgender was. I just knew that being a girl wasn't it, and I wasn't gonna live like that if it meant one thing or another. I'm glad we're here now, but I wasn't gonna make it in this life as a girl, okay? As dramatic as that may sound, it's 100% fact. With that being said, in my immediate surroundings, like within my family and my upbringing, being attracted to men was always looked at as the man is in charge, you're weak if you're attracted to men, you're submissive and all that sort of stuff, right? So that never really corresponded with how I felt about myself and my characteristics and how I carry myself in the world. From that point, and maybe you guys can agree with this as well, I just never allowed myself to think about that, okay? And this is not turning into like, the fuck. So with that being said, I do have a girlfriend. I am attracted to like my girlfriend. I have this joke, okay, that I'm like 90-10, like I'm 10% attracted to like whoever the fuck, and then 90% attracted to women. That being said, I am in a relationship, so please don't come at me. I'm not polyamorous or whatever the word for it is. I've allowed myself, as the years have progressed with being on testosterone, in 2 months I'm gonna be 3 years on testosterone, I've allowed myself to not feel like I'm invalid. I'm not a female, I'm not less masculine, because sometimes I can see a guy and acknowledge like I find this guy attractive more than a straight guy would, so that's definitely questionable, right? So the whole thing of feeling the need to put labels on yourself, and I know that disgusting feeling like, holy fuck, I want to tear my skin off. It almost gives you like dysphoria to be attracted to men. I don't know if any of y'all have experienced that, but definitely at a certain point, it gave me dysphoria. It just is what it is. And I feel like a lot of people who are straight are probably more so on the spectrum. Of course, there's 150% people who are solely straight, who only like women, as well as who only like men, right? But I do feel like many people I've experienced in my life who are very bigoted and very homophobic fall somewhere on that spectrum of not being 100% straight. You're making it seem like it's a bad thing, and it's really not a bad thing, right? That doesn't mean that you have to be a sexual deviant, that you have to be out here getting crazy with it, getting loose with it. And if that's what you want to do, that's something else. Go for it. No judgment here, because I definitely feel like when you start your transition, you know, before you start hormones and all of that, you're kind of hiding, you're just trying to blend in. You don't want to get misgendered, so you're not really, you know, being very out there, you're not being very outgoing, or at least for myself, that's how it was. And then after I started testosterone, after I started to work out and I felt more comfortable with myself, I was kind of like, oh, like this shit was low-key always there. I just never really allowed myself to feel that because I felt like it was wrong. With that being said, let me think of an example. Maybe like Beck from Victorious, right? That was probably like one of those guys that I was kind of like, yo, like you're kind of attractive, my G, and not in like the straightest way, right? I feel like there are nuances and there's variability in sexuality. That doesn't make me any less of a man. That doesn't make me any less attracted to women. If you're one of those people who is stifling down those emotions, you're someone who is trying to not think think about that, you know, you're doing things in the shadows, like you're just hiding how you feel, even though deep down you know what it is. Like, it's cool, bro. Like, don't put so much pressure on yourself. Like, you'll never hear me label, like, people ask me like, are you straight? Are you bisexual? Like, I like my girlfriend. I mostly girls, like really, like for real, like I really like girls. And I think maybe that's something that people are afraid of as well. Oh, if I like guys, then I can't like girls. Everybody's vibing, like it's fine, right? It's okay. Like, it's okay to be who you are. And I know that we feel this extra pressure coming from society, especially for more masculine trans guys. I know that when I became more involved in the internet and stuff, I realized that really the only representation of trans guys I saw was like skinny, twinky white boys. And I was kind of like, yo, that's not me. You are who you are. And a lot of times we put more pressure on ourselves than even anybody else can ever put on us, okay? So be happy with yourself, be proud of yourself. Testosterone, you know, you're injecting yourself 1-2 times a week in your ass or your stomach or anything. It doesn't make you gay. The hormones are not making you gay. And even if you felt like, yo, I never felt like this at all, it's possible that, you know, our brain really protects itself and it will prioritize things like sort of triage emotions and feelings in your brain. Everybody has a different path. And definitely also, if you are looking into starting testosterone and you hear that it makes everybody gay, like, I'm not gay, I'm out here, like there's hella straight trans guys, okay? So don't be afraid of that. If you have any emotions that you feel like you're suppressing, definitely address them, because suppressed emotions can turn into negative, and negativity can just sort of grow and grow and grow and become this thing. And you know, you don't want to be like that dad from Euphoria who's just like out here doing like crazy shit just because he can never be himself, right? So just have a pure heart, have pure intentions, and you know, be positive. Obviously this has nothing to do with fitness, but if you did want to hire me for coaching or go for a meal or training plan, feel free to email me. Follow me on Instagram, DVNSPRS, which will also be linked in the description down below. Like I always say, Devin loves you, Devin's a Don, and Devin is out of here, boy.